I have Crohn's disease and had just survived a coma. I was still very sick but had checked myself out of the hospital against doctor's advice. Within a week, my lungs were so filled with bacteria and fluid, there were noticeable white flakes coming out of my mouth. A condition upon my leaving the hospital was that I see one of my blood specialists within the week of leaving. Or they would have had me court-ordered to stay. In trying to fulfill this agreement, I went to that specialist's office for a late morning appointment. The medical building is located across the street from the hospital. I was so sick, I would periodically stop breathing and would lose track of time. It subsequently took me 4 hours to get from the underground parking lot to his office that I believe was on the 3rd floor. When I made to his office, I had obviously missed my appointment. When I was rescheduling, the nurse at the front desk asked if I was okay. I said I was sick and just needed to rest. I did not want to go back into the hospital. The stop breathing episodes continued on my way back down to the parking lot. I remember sitting on the floor between stairs for unknown amounts of time. When I finally made it to the garage, I couldn't go any further, and my car was just several feet away. Yes, I was driving. I just sat Indian style in the middle of the parking garage. I remember people coming out of the building and through the parking lot just tripping out over me, some laughing. Eventually, someone called an ambulance. When the paramedics arrived, they did not know what to make of me. They thought I was psychotic or deranged. I guess I had called my husband during this with my cell phone, although I don't remember doing so. I had just handed the phone to the paramedic. Then I was instantly in another place. There was a warm glow or ambience around me that was so peaceful, so full of awe and love. I was surrounded by a part of this warmth. It was bright, but did not hurt my eyes. I don't actually recall having eyes since I knew who I was but had no form. I felt I was contained in something, but I could not see walls. It was the most wonderful feeling of bliss and euphoria, something of which I have a hard time explaining with words. I felt I was connected to a whole, like I was home again. It seemed to be some sort of energy is the best way I can describe it. Then I seemed to be traveling, soaring over snow-capped mountaintops, as an eagle would do. I got this distinct impression. It was magnificent and beautiful. Suddenly I was in the paramedic truck. There were paramedics around me, inserting N4 and had placed a breathing bag over my face. It was like I was looking at them from a distance. I remember one had very blonde, short hair. I felt nothing physically, as though I was an observer. And then I felt a rush back into my body. I felt every fiber of my body come alive. I felt every nerve in my body come alive as though I was poured back into my body. I felt the intense pain of my sick body again. The pain was so intense in comparison to the euphoria I had just felt. Again, this coming back into my body is something I have difficulty explaining in words. I was awake just long enough to remember this, and then I lapsed into my second coma.